guys, welcome to the martial arts of selling. This is part three of a five-part series on how to become more than a real estate agent or an agent. I hope you guys watched part number two and part number one, and I hope it was helpful to you because if you didn't watch part two or part one, part three is irrelevant. It really is, and I set it up that way. Before we dig into part three, if you're watching this on my channel, do me a favor, hit the subscription button below, share your comments, and also smash the like button because it does help the algorithms. Now, let's dig into part three. And while I'll do that, I'm going to take a soda. And so part number three is what I call the three power plays to selling. Okay, the first two parts was really more about building and changing your mindset, your attitude towards it, trying to get back to some basic things. Now, these three power plays I'm going to share with you stems from changing my mindset. I'm always looking at getting better at my profession. You see, as a salesperson, it's like being a doctor. You always can improve. You can always get better. The problem I run into is when you reach a certain plateau, a certain level as a salesperson, sometimes you think, excuse my friend, your shit don't stink, that you can't learn anything more. And that's because a lot of them don't like to stick to the basics, like cold calling or things like that. I mean, I've got people that cold call for me, but I still do it. Teach some of my real estate clients that are agents how to cold call. And I actually help cold call because I cold call with them. So the three power plays is really, once you understand, they may sound corny and cliche, but once you understand it, it's going to change your game. It really, really, really is. Now, power play number one is a call to action. And what do I mean by call to action? You see, I never wait for prospects to call me because whether I'm influential or not, it's irrelevant. I have to take the call to action. I have to take the most powerful and effective call to action so I could build a more powerful engagement, right? And that's through cold calling. Okay. Now, the purpose of the call to action is deeper than that. It's about setting the tone for your future relationships. It's about when you take that call to action, it's about you increasing your value to whatever relationship or whoever you're going to have a relationship with. And the responsibility as an agent or real estate broker is you have to know how to separate yourself from everyone else, especially when you deal with for sale by owners. Because you already know they don't want to deal with agents. You already know they don't want to pay a commission. You already know that they're going to tell you to bring you a buy and then they'll pay you. Right? Those are typically the three most common objections. But if you take a call to action, and that means being prepared to take that call to action, meaning understanding the prospect's mindset or the for sale by owner's mindset, you have to know what they're thinking and why they're thinking that way. So shouldn't you be prepared to handle those objections with powerful rebuttals? That's a call to action. It's about understanding your audience, who they are, what they're all about, what their mindset, what their attitude is going to be when you take the initial contact. And that call to action that you take has to have a purpose. It's not just to try to get a listing. It's to earn that listing. It's to build that relationship. But as I said in the previous part two, is you got to starve out all your distractions and you got to feed your focus. And you have to work hard and work smart. And you have to be disciplined. You have to be committed, right? All those things apply to a very powerful call to action. I personally will never take a call to action unless I'm ready and I'm on my A game. And I'm always on my A game, but there are times where if I'm not feeling a certain way and I feel like I'm off, I have to either get myself on back on the game or I just don't call at all. And I make 150 calls a day minimum. Still do it after 31 years. So you have to understand and know how to take the right call to action. Does that make sense? Okay, that's power play number one. Now, power play number two cannot happen unless you use power play number one effectively. You got to have a powerful and effective engagement. See, one of the things I've learned, I did a video on it, is grab attention. Don't wait for it to come to you. If I go based upon how successful I was in the past, and how much money I made in the past compared to now, I will never be successful. Because who cares what I did before? People that have budgets and have unlimited capital, that's a whole different game. But you small people, I mean, you entrepreneur and small business owner and agents, you have to have more powerful engagement. You have to go grab that attention by having what? Power play number one, which is a powerful, effective call to action that's going to lead into a very powerful and effective engagement. Because without engagement, you don't have any sales. Without engagement, you don't have a seller's contract. Without a seller's contract, you can't get it to escrow. Without escrow, you can't get it funded, right? So why not do the most important, valuable thing, which is to take a call to action, have a very effective and powerful engagement because it becomes personal. And that's what for sale by owners are really looking for. But they're just like you and me, they're people. And there's only two ways they buy. We all buy. We either want something or we need something. Well, for sale by owner may not need to sell the property. They just want to sell it because they may want to take profits. You got to get them through your call to action and your engagement. You got to get them to want you as an agent. You got to get them to buy into you. And forget about every experience they had before. And making sure that whatever bad experience they might have had with agent, that they're not taking it out on you. Why? Because your engagement and your call to action was unique, authentic, sincere, and original. That's a big difference. And what happens if you have a powerful and effective engagement? You convert more for sale by owners into sellers relationship. That simple, guys. Not rocket science, not complicated, but we make things complicated. So power play number two is powerful and effective engagement. Okay, number three is my favorite. I call it the 3 C's, and it's converting, closing, and creating sales. Converting is more of a social media thing, right? Somebody's engaged, they take a call to action and then you convert that engagement into a sale, right? I like to call it converting a lead into a sale, converting a prospect into a customer, and that customer into a client, which is 3 different mindsets, right? And then the third one is creating deals. What I mean by that's my favorite one, is where you're surrounded around other people, other people, and an opportunity comes up that no one sees but you. And you start to create this vision in your mind where, there's opportunities there. How do I put this together? And I'll give you an example. Recently, my real estate client, who I'm training, she's an agent and she's the owner of a firm for 30 years. And what happened was, not only did I bring her the for sale by owner through a cold call, I also brought her an investor through a cold call. And I got her to be my client through a cold call. And what I did was I was able to get all three of them on the phone at the same time, and I created an opportunity for all of them. They both, the seller and the buyer, or the seller and the investor, wind up being represented by my client agent. And I have nothing to do with that deal. I have get paid nothing on that deal. But I created an opportunity because they're my clients. I knew what they each needed to get done. I knew what they each wanted to accomplish. And I created the opportunity to do that. That was exciting. Matter of fact, I'm going to post that video soon. But so the power play number 3 is if you have powerful engagement and effective engagement, and you take a very effective call to action, you will convert more leads into sales, or more for sale by owners into a seller's contract. You will close more deals. You will convert more for sale by owners into a customer. And also, by doing these 2 steps, the first 2 power play, you're going to be able to create really good opportunities for others. That's a power play. But the closing, converting, and creating doesn't mean squat unless you have a good, effective, a dynamic call to action. Unless you have a power play number 2, a powerful, effective engagement. And I'll end it with this. You have to know how to tell stories. Everything is a story. And I challenge anyone out there that you don't take action because you heard a story, or you watch a story, or you listen to a story. We all are engaged by what we hear, what we see, what we feel. And that all stems from storytelling, period. End the story. So if you apply and master these 3 selling power plays, not only will you see your value increase tremendously, but your sales will grow exponentially. Thank you for watching. Again, if you're watching this on my channel, hit the subscription button below, smash that like button, share your comments, and share the video with others if you think it can help other agents. Till we speak again, I say goodbye and stay tuned for step number 4, or part number 4. I'm sorry. Talk to you later. Bye.